Alright, good morning everyone. I hope all is well with you. So you want to be a homesteader. So I'm making this video because I've seen it time and time again. Now I've been in this lifestyle for, maybe 15 years. It started off with my ranch here in East San Diego, up in the mountains. It was an 8-acre ranch, sold that, moved on, and then we bought old dilapidated homestead in northern Arizona that we're currently refurbishing to make it livable for us by this time next year, if not before, hopefully before. And all these years, I've seen people wanting to get into this lifestyle, excited about it, energized about it. Some would say even zealous about it. Fiery zeal to get off-grid, to be a homesteader, just to have the carpet pulled out from underneath them. So this video is basically what to expect if you decide to go off-grid, if you decide to start a homestead, not even necessarily off-grid, but just get out of the city, out of the suburbs, and be more self-sufficient. Let me tell you what to expect, and maybe some suggestions, I just woke up, on how to make it successful. Now, I'm coming from a standpoint where currently our property is not ready. Yes, we can survive there absolutely right now with what we have, but we have a lot to do. We have a lot of work to do, and we've been on this property about 5 years, and we're still working. So I think the number one thing people need to take into consideration when deciding to move off-grid or to start a homestead is realize the amount of work you will be putting in. You may think, oh, I'm moving off-grid, I'm retiring, I don't have to work anymore. No. If you move off-grid, now the work begins. Trust me. Even if you have financial resources to hire people to do a lot of the heavy lifting, a lot of times, and I've experienced this myself, if you are far off-grid, you can't get people out to your place. Contractors will Google your address, and they're like, I'm not driving out there. I've heard this so many times. I've had people tell me, oh, we're 2 months out. Where we're at, our neck of the woods in Arizona, it is extremely tough to find someone willing to come out to you and do some work at a fair price. It's very hard. So you have to understand you probably end up doing a lot of the work yourself. That being said, are you knowledgeable with the skills? Do you have the skill set to be able to do the things that you need to do in order to start a homestead or be off-grid? Are you fluent in gardening, animal husbandry, rainwater collection, or however you're getting your water? Do you know how to butcher animals? My buddy and I were talking about that last night. Do you know how to defend your property? Do you know how to build and repair things? You have to be more self-sufficient when you move off-grid, just because, for the simple fact, those resources are no longer near you, for the most part. Our place, we got about 20 miles of dirt roads to get to our place. From the highway, about 20 miles of dirt roads. And the last part of the dirt roads, sometimes, more often than not, unless you have a big 4x4, you're not getting there. So that's another thing you got to take in consideration if you can find someone to come out to your place. My first question is, when I talk to someone interested in working for me, is do you have a vehicle, a capable vehicle of going off-road? Because if you don't, I'm going to have to come pick you up, or I'm going to have to drag your truck up to my place with my truck. So, do you have a capable vehicle for the area that you're looking in? My family, we are currently upgrading my big truck. I have a diesel Ram 3500 dually, and we are outfitting it to be more capable where we're at. I mean, it makes it there right now no problem. I can even pull trailers there. This truck is heavy and powerful. Of course, it's 4-wheel drive. Well, it's a dually, so it's 6-wheel drive. and it makes it. It doesn't do very good in snow, but we are outfitting it in a way where we can get there almost no matter what. Almost. When we have the monsoons and it's heavy rain and the clay roads are slippery, it's near impossible to get to unless you have a tracked vehicle. Almost impossible. One of my neighbors found out the hard way last winter, almost losing his life being stuck out on the roads. And there ain't people out there to help you. It's no joke, guys. Moving off grid, if you don't have these services around you, it is no joke. You have no cell phone service. No one's out there. No one's out there to help you. You are stuck. And if you're stuck in a storm or a blizzard, it could be a death sentence. You have to be smart about this. Like I said, we've been doing our work on our place for about 5 years now, and it's still not ready. Again, is it survivable? Is it livable? Yeah, we could live out there if push came to shove, but it wouldn't be as pleasant as it would be if, we finish the work that we need to finish. So do you have a capable vehicle of getting to and from? Is it in good mechanical condition? Because the last thing you need is to be 20 miles in the wilderness in rough weather and have to walk out. That in and of itself, if you're not prepared, is a death sentence. There's animals out there looking to eat you. That's another thing to consider. What's the fauna in your area? In my area, we have wolves, we have mountain lions, we have javelinas that are vicious. What else do we have? Rattlesnakes, bears. We got a lot of animals that look at us as like a snack. So that's another thing. Are you able to protect yourself? You don't have the police right down the street. You don't have animal control right down the street. You literally have to fend for you. And a lot of people, especially if you've grown up in the cities your whole life, you're not used to that lifestyle. You have to become accustomed to it. You have to learn it. And I think all these things that I'm talking about, let's talk about food. There is no grocery store right down the street, at least for us. Our closest grocery store is about 40 miles away, give or take, about 40 miles. So you need a gallon of milk. You're not jumping in the car and going to get some milk. You have to make special trips. Typically, where we're at, we're anticipating once every 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks. We have a young one, so we got to go into town, get some socializing. We want to put them in 4-H and FFA and all that stuff, so he can be around other kids. So we'll be going into town and we're going to plan those trips in conjunction with our shopping trips. Now let's talk about self-sustainable food resources. Do you know how to garden? At my ranch, I just discussed at the beginning of this video, my 8-acre ranch, I had 2 orchards with about 60 trees of all varieties. We had a 900 square foot greenhouse, the concrete floors and raised cinder block beds, mister system, ventilation system. It was badass, guys. It was one of the nicest greenhouses I've ever seen. And it just so happened to be mine. It was awesome. Livestock. We had cows, chickens, horses, pigs, goats, sheep. We had all the livestock, horses. And it was great. We produced about 80 or 90% of all the consumables, all our food, all of that stuff, all our fruit, all our vegetables, all our meat. We produced almost all of it. It was awesome. And if that's your goal, that's a very ambitious goal, not to be taken lightly. It's a lot of work. It is rewarding work. I don't want to scare anybody off. I'm actually trying to encourage you to do this. In my opinion, there will be a time coming soon where living in the cities is just far too dangerous. I mean, we're almost there now, aren't we? Far too dangerous. So I encourage you guys to do it, but do it smart. Going back to the beginning of this video, some of the main reasons why I've seen people go gung-ho to becoming an off-gridder, a homesteader, and shortly, months sometimes, fail. They put all their resources in, they spend their money, they find the property, they put up a tent or a converted into a house, and they realize, man, this is a lot of work. There's some skills here I don't have. You know, some people, and to be fair, to be balanced, there are some people that will do it and they absolutely succeed. It's all a mindset. If you have it in your mind, this is what I'm doing and I will do it. It will happen. Come hell or high water, this is going to happen. That's the mindset you got to have. Not, oh, you know, let's try it out. If it doesn't work, you know, we can always, you know, go back to town and do this. You know, if you have that mindset that you've already failed and you already have plans for when you fail, you're most likely going to fail. You have to go into it with a mindset of success, because it is hard work. A lot of hard work, a lot of long days, inclement weather, you know, snow, rain, wind, hot, sunny. You know, the summer times right now, it can reach 100 degrees on my place. It's hot. And in the winter, like especially last winter, it was cold, super cold for months and months and months. And then the monsoon season just before the winter was some of the worst people have seen on those mountains in 30 years, they say. It is no joke. You have to be rugged and tough to be off-grid, to be a homesteader, to be a prepper. It's not easy. It's not cheap. But the rewards you get from it. I mean, imagine clean air, no graffiti on buildings around you, no crime. For the most part, of course, there's always crime everywhere. Clean food, clean water. You know, eating an apple that you know is not covered in pesticides. Feeding your family wholesome food that you produce yourself. It's a great feeling, and it's a healthy life. This is what people have done for thousands of years. Just in the last few hundred, we have become, you know, and I hate to use this word, civilized, because you don't find much civility in cities and towns, right? It's not very civil. Now you go out to the country, that's where the good folk are. Also, another fair warning. People who already are homesteaders that live out miles from anybody, they tend to have, a lot of them, not all of them, tend to be much more private. They don't want to just talk to anybody. They don't want you on their property, first of all. If you see a no trespassing sign, respect that. You have to respect that, because you are in a place that people won't find you. You know, I'll try to keep it clean, but you know what I'm talking about. The old saying, F around and find out, that's where it's from. You don't mess around on someone's property. You don't touch people's things. You basically, you be a regular, normal, polite, respectful human being, and you'll be fine. But there are some people that just don't want to be around other people, and respect that. Don't push them. Leave them alone. Most times people live out places like that because they just want to be left alone. Me being one of them. Now, I like people, you know, if they meet the criteria. You know, I don't want to talk to people that I'm just wasting my time. You know, and a great saying that I kind of came up with actually this morning is, don't waste your words on people who deserve your silence. Don't waste your words on people who deserve your silence. Meaning, if they're not worth talking to, don't waste your time. That's kind of my mindset. Now, I'm kind to most people that are good to me, that are good to my people. And that's how people are when you move out to the sticks. Families first, friends and neighbors, you just don't mess with them. You just don't mess with them. You don't have anybody to protect you out there. You need these people to have your back, and you got to have their back. So community, camaraderie, being neighborly, that will cut a lot of ties out there. That will make a lot of people like you, and they will look at you as an asset, you know, not a liability. You don't want to be a liability. There's no such thing as being a liability out there. You have to fend for yourself, you know, take care of yourself, take care of your family, look out for your neighbors and your friends, and they will do the same. People out there are a different breed. They're a different breed, and you have to get YouTube, one sticks out in my mind. A fellow that moved out in the country, garbage vehicle, no financial resources to get infrastructure built, and losing jobs, getting new jobs, having to travel to town to work. That is a self-defeating process. You have to be ready before making the jump. Again, there's some people that do make the jump and they're successful. I think it's rare. You have to be ready. Again, I've been doing this for 5 years and I've had ranches before. I've already done the homesteading thing. I've taken this super slow. Super slow. Right now there's still money to be made here in town. There's still money to be spent out there. So I got to keep doing this for a few more months before we finally hang our hat here in the city and move out to the real life. If you guys have any questions, if you have any concerns, if you're considering going off-grid or starting a homestead and you need guidance, I am here for you. That's what this channel is about. That's what this channel is about. Helping each other, motivating, mentoring, you might say. People who desire to live in the country. People who desire to be self-sufficient, to raise their children in a wholesome environment. That's what this channel is about. If you guys need help, if you need suggestions or guidance, hit me up. Hit me up. I've been doing this a long time. And for me and mine, it's worth it. For some people, it's not worth it. They'd rather stay in town. I don't like town. I don't like being around a lot of people. I definitely don't like living under the thumb of governmental agencies, even though it's a must no matter where you go. But in some cases, it's a lot lighter than other cases. So that's a good thing. So hit me up here in the comments box. If you're new here, like and subscribe. I'm trying to put more material over here, but again, this channel is really going to take off more when we actually move out there. So we're still here in this, well, I can't really say we're in the city. We actually have a 20-acre horse ranch that we're living at now, and it's an hour drive to the city. That's what I'm doing right now, driving to work. So yeah, living in the city is just not for us. We don't want to do it anymore, and we're almost to the point where we get out of here. But if you guys need help, if you need suggestions, some guidance, hit me up in the comments box. Once we do finally make that big final move, you'll be seeing videos definitely weekly, possibly even daily. I'll be showing you guys how I do things. Now there's many ways of doing something. One way is not always the best way or the only way, but I'll show you my ways of building things, preparing things, gardening, homesteading, hunting, getting my rainwater collection system expanded, all that stuff, all the the solar and the water pumps and firewood, all the stuff that is involved in homesteading and prepping. I want to make videos about that to help this community see another viewpoint, another way to do things. So don't be scared. Just remember, it's a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice. But once you get to that point where all your systems are in place, everything's going, now you can level off, plane off, and start to really enjoy real life. And me, I don't mind work. I like working when it progresses or builds up my existing systems. I like becoming more self-sufficient with every project, I guess is the way to say it. So that's my 2 cents, guys. Again, if you have any questions, any comments, there's a lot of good videos out there, a lot of good channels. A lot of good channels out there that are doing the same thing I'm doing. They have different ways of doing